Why, hello everyone. This is AzureCuzYeah, and this is a game between me and Fan0fGaming. This is round 1 in Point Man's gamer commentator tournament, or just commentator tournament. So this is actually our second game. Our first game, there was a crash by Fan0fGaming, and he decided just to give me the win because I was just obviously winning. I had his entire army blinking. I flanked him from both sides, and I still had the majority of power. So he was gracious enough to give that to me. As for this game, this one's much closer. And I let that first game win really get to my head. You know, I got really cocky this one, so I figured I'm gonna just go all out, be balls to the wall, and win it early. But that is not what happens at all. So here's what I have. I bring 4 Nodachi Samurai, 2 Uesugi Warrior Monks. Yes, I'm Uesugi and he is Shimazu. And I bring 2 Naginata Samurai that I bring on the right. And the rest is Cav. And I have 2 Katanas, 2 Yari, and 2 Great Guard. And I have my secret weapon over here, my Matchlocks Ashigaru, creeping through the woods. And I think I'm going to win the game with. Thinking he has no idea what's in store for him. But on Fan's side, he has, out in the open, 3 Yari Ashigaru up front, and a bunch of Katana Samurai. Maybe 1 Nodachi? No, a bunch of Katana Samurai. And then in the back here, he has 3 Yari Cav and a Great Guard just hanging out. And over here, Naginata Warrior Monks protecting 2 Matchlocks Ashigaru. So, I'm thinking, well, he's going for the high ground. I'm going to bring my Cav over here, and I'm going to have this Matchlocks Ashigaru just sneak up ever so slowly, and then just start shooting holes into their Matchlocks Ashigaru. And as soon as I see an opening, I plan on taking my Cav and swooping like this, in this sort of action here, and slamming into both of them. So, I was very much ready to sacrifice all my Cav units just to take out these 2 Matchlocks Ashigaru, and then I bring the rest of my Katanas, my Katana Samurai that are waiting right there, and sweep them past these guns that are being attacked, and try to run them through his big wave of Katana Samurai here. That was the plan. We'll soon see that that is not what happens at all. You know, I was really hoping I'd be able to just form up my guys over here, and as soon as chaos ensued, I just rushed my Nodachis in there, let them do their thing, while my Cav, you know, attacked from the front and the back and whatnot. But I did not pay attention enough to unit prices here, and I did not add it up, because there's a Great Guard, and when there's 1 Great Guard, there's usually 2 Great Guards. And not to mention the other amounts of Cav that we're soon going to see rush out of these woods here. So I bring up my my Matchlock here really slowly, and as soon as I get to right about here, I rush him and I stretch him out, and I want him to run right into these woods and start shooting this way at these Matchlocks. I'm just hoping that these Cav units will rush through here straight at him, and I'll have a Yari Cav rush at him, and the rest of my Cav here, all 5 units, will just sweep through the back of his line, through this big gap that I'm hoping will emerge. Well, we'll soon see that doesn't happen. Here I make my move. I have the lines drawn over here, I have my Cav over here, and here comes my guns. They're stretching out. I'm thinking I'm gonna get him, he hasn't moved yet. He still hasn't even moved yet. I'm moving my Yari Cav up just to protect them on this side, and I'm thinking, what is going on? Why isn't he moving? And of course, you know, I didn't give him the credit to think that he's gonna rush with a bunch of Cav units in the woods here and blow him out of the water. In any second, you'll see it. They're gonna stop. And there they are. Great Guard, Yari, and I bring my Yari Cav to sweep right here, but it's definitely not enough. I only get a small charge. He brings the rest of his Cav over here, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to do something about this. So I bring the rest of my Cav over here to fight up in the woods here. And I do take my Katana Cavs over here, and I try to bring them over here to hit their guns, but it didn't go especially as planned. Now, I pretty much leave these guys here. I say, you know what? That's that. They're pretty much done. It's 6-on-3. I need to take care of what's left of his army over here and still do something. So I take my katanas and I try to sweep around and still hit the back of his katanas over here. I'm able to, you know, mess up his matchlocks a little bit with my Great Guard unit. There's one fleeing, but I pretty much leave my Great Guard here just to fight this Naginata warrior monk, which is stupid, but I didn't really micro it well. And here comes my Uesugi warrior monks ready to fight their Yari Ashigaro, and that should be an easy fight. And I bring my katana cab, and he turns his around. So I'm not going to do as much damage, but I am able to mess up 2 of his katana cab units really early, and I bring the rest of my Odachis in to play clean house here. Now, it's looking good for me on the infantry front, but he still has a lot of cabs still. Now, lucky for me, he just sort of leaves them there. You know, they're cleaning up, and that gives me a couple seconds to buy time. Now, he's bringing up his guns, and this is the point of view I'm looking at here. He has his general over here sort of running away. I have my Naginata samurai over here trying to hold them up, you know, block whatever's going on here. I go into a stand and fight, and I try to whip my Nodachis around. He's all clustered up. This is good for me, but at the same time, it isn't the greatest in the world because he has so many cab units over there just waiting to tear me down. For the most part, I have a lot of my units still. I just lost all of my cab. And here they come. He's going to crash right into these warrior monks units right here, which was pretty helpful for me. For the most part, I was able to bottleneck up a lot, and this kept my general in the game longer than he would have, but it still wasn't enough. As you just see, they sort of just pour through. And, you know, I really am not in a situation to pull anybody away, keep them there. You're going to see me shoot a couple of bonsais. I missed it on that one. But I'm still sort of in it. It doesn't look good, though. He has this huge mass, but I'm going to try and surround him the best I can. And I'm leaving this Nodachi here to fight his general that I just sort of left there, which is great for me. But it still gives me time to, you know, bring people out and surround his giant mass of guys here. And I was able to bring this warrior monk over here to fight his guns, which worked out well. And then I'm going to be able to bring him back and smash them into the back of his line here. Now, it doesn't look too great for me, but, you know, I am able to stay on top just by having superior units, and, you know, I think it's mostly superior units, to be honest. But, you know, I'm kind of worried here, but his entire army consists pretty much of cab. And when cab's just engaged, it usually doesn't play off too well, especially if they've already been in combat. I mean, they're not the strongest units, and they don't have the greatest morale either. So I have my 3 units here, and they're all playing off each other. You know, they're pretty strong. It's a warrior monk and 2 Nodachis. You know, they have pretty good morale, and the Nodachis have pretty strong fighting strength. Oh yeah, and I forgot about this Naginata warrior monk that never even played in the game. He's just sitting over here. So I stretch my guys out, and I try to surround his infantry units the best I can right here. And it works pretty well. I'm able to make one flee right away, and these guys are, you know, wavering right away, which worked out very well. I mean, the big mistake that Fan0fGaming made was that he pulled all of his cav away, and then he charges at a single focus, which happens to be these Naginata samurai, which are going to tear apart any sort of cav. And when I bring Nodachis into the mix to surround the rest of these units, that's where it really gets me, because I am flanking a lot of his cav here, and the Nodachis are just sucking up all of these horses. And you see this nice little horse graveyard here, and all their guys, it sucks up all their morale and they run. I mean, he had a really good chance to beat me if he just pulled out certain cav units and attacked at certain sides. And he even had a chance right here, to be honest. He just had to play it right. Now, what I had on my side was the fact that I had a bunch of you know, ground forces. They have better morale, and when they're together, they feed off each other better. But, you know, it ended up just how it worked out for me. I mean, I lucked out. And he charged. I'm surprised he did that. And he also dismounted with the Yari cap. I mean, that isn't really going to help him in any sort of way, really. I mean, the Yari cap would still do pretty good damage against the Dachis if you flank them. But like there, Katana Samurai might be able to understand that, but they weren't. And this one went to me. It probably shouldn't have, but it did. And it was a very good game. I've been a witness to many of these games where I'm about to lose and get crushed, but somehow I pull through just by, you know, maneuvering my guys just right. But thank you, Fanofgaming, for playing me. I appreciate it. Good games, and really appreciate you putting the time into getting your computer up and running to play this. Anyway, that is round 1 for me. As far as I know, I'm playing Plus Robert round 2. So, until then,